spend even a minute online and you'd think the average person inhales a book every 48 hours. We see these folks with their spreadsheets, we watch their wrap-ups every month. Hell, they even casually drop that they read 130 books last year. I'm making this video because we're coming up to the mid-year point and I thought it'd be a good time to check in on those resolutions that we've probably forgotten about. One of my resolutions was to read more mindfully. So let's just do a quick sanity check. A YouGov poll found that 40% of Britons haven't read or listened to a single book last year, and the median Briton read or listened to 3. In the US, a poll puts that 0 books number at 46%.
An annual meeting of
So why the f are we acting like reading 100 books a year is like a normal thing? Like personally, my goal this year is 35 books, the same as last year, 35 books. I hit my goal last year, and this year I'm currently on 18. I'm tracking well. Well, the answer is social media. Surprise, surprise. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how sites like Goodreads and StoryGraph trap you in this kind of unrealistic thinking. Plus, I'll give you 3 ways to counter it. I just want to make it clear that I'm not anti-goal. I think goal setting is really important, and setting a reading goal, it just makes sense. But I also understand how with, everything sending us notifications and fracturing our attention, sometimes monging out is just about the only thing our brains can handle. Personally, I see reading goals as like a scaffolding for building a healthy reading habit. It allows me to take clear and measurable steps. Like say I want to read 20 minutes every day, but I missed today. Then I know that for the next 4 days, I'll just read 25 minutes. The thing is, when the internet gets involved, our reading habits don't stay private anymore. Once we connect our reading habits to a platform, that's when they become a scoreboard. The moment we log our books on Goodreads or StoryGraph, what was a private scaffold becomes content. It becomes a part of our identities, or at the very least, part of the identity of our online persona. And use that as clout. When that number becomes public, it becomes the whole point. It's productivity logic for our leisure time. It's the monetization, industrial, whatever you want to call it, of our hobbies. And when the scoreboard takes over, it creates 3 predictable distortions in how we read. And yes, I do see the irony here. I actually did this last year. It's short book bias. When every single book is worth exactly 1 point on the scoreboard, we are going to favor shorter books.
Duh.
We end up gaming our own hobby. I really wanted to read Romantic Outlaws by Charlotte Gordon, but I didn't because it's 700 pages and I was crushing Gothic literature at the time. You want to know what I read instead? Ubik, Story of the I Who Have Never Known Men, Confessions of a Mask, and What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. All fantastic books, by the way, all less than 200 pages. And the mental gymnastics was exhausting and gross, by the way, because I was just lying to myself. I just kept on saying,
oh, the next one's going to be Romantic Outlaws. Oh, the next one's going to be House of Leaves.
And then, not to mention, I just got used to smaller books. So I just built up this reluctance too to pick up a larger book. This is the worst one. I'm calling this the threat of the masterpiece. Say, for example, you want to read War and Peace, but it's 700 pages or however long it is, and it's going to take you like a month or 2. The threat of that book will loom over you. I felt guilty every time I finished a book and I didn't pick up Infinite Jest. It just kept on picking away at my conscience. I really want to read it. I really love David Foster Wallace. I want to know what all the fuss is about. Instead, I'm letting that flame, that passion just die out. Man, and this is where it becomes self-defeating because I'm losing the joy of wrestling with language and uncovering the deeper meaning. And it's like, that's the whole point of reading. And for what? For a Goodreads target? I'm guilty of this one too, man. I catch myself skimming all the time, just processing the text and not digesting the ideas. And I tell myself,
you know what? It's fine. I'll just read it again when I have the time.
It's such disrespect to the book. It's such disrespect to the author who probably poured in thousands of hours into writing that book, and we all know how this ends. We all know that one guy who's like,
oh yeah, I read Crime and Punishment in 2 days,
but the can't even tell us what the plot is. I love books way too much to do that to them, but the thing is, sometimes it just feels like it's out of my control. But you know what's in my control? See what I did there? This is what I'm doing to fix it, and you can do it too. I'm simply changing the metric. The metric is no longer how many books I've read. It's now how much time I've spent reading. 1 hour a day, 7 hours a week. At least. You know what else I started to do? After every reading session, I mentally summarize what I just read. And so during the week, I normally read on my commutes. But when I'm walking, instead of mindlessly plugging in a podcast, I intentionally go through what I just read. And on the weekends, normally after reading, I end up cooking. And I cut my carrots now in silence instead of having Netflix on in the background. And I just see where the ideas take me. And the final thing I started doing with this whole mindful reading shtick is every time I finish a book, I don't dive straight into the next one the next day or even the same day. I give it a day or two and I just let things percolate. And it's so interesting, the stuff that bubbles up on those days. And just remember, guys, even if you just read 1 book a month, you are already way above average. And as sad as that is, there really is no pressure at all to read more, read faster, read better. The whole reward of reading a book is the book itself.
Like you strive.